Flu deaths in Washington went way up last week. There have now been 86 deaths, and most of those were people 65 or older, but one of the deaths was a child. Now, here with me today is Dr. Alex Hamling from Pacific Medical Centers to talk to us more about what we're seeing this year, and it certainly feels like a bad season. Would you agree with that?
I think we're definitely in peak flu season, so it's definitely going to have that perspective. January, February, March, this is when we expect to see the flu year-round.
Okay, now I brought up kids there, and we've seen 30 kids die across the country from the flu this year. I've been reading stories. Some of these kids were healthy beforehand. Some of them had the flu shot. Talk to us about this H3N2, which is the prominent strain, it sounds like, that's going around. Are kids having a tougher time fighting this off?
Every year that when we see the H3N2 strain come around, we know that it is just a nasty, terrible influenza bug. It tends to be more severe, spread quickly, and lead to more deaths. This happens to be that year where we're unlucky and we're seeing it. The people who I'm worried most about for the flu are the young kids and those 65 and older, or those with chronic diseases.
So what would your advice be, knowing that it's out there, it's going around, and these people seemingly healthy may be more at risk?
Absolutely. So number one, get your flu vaccine. That's going to protect yourself as well as those around you, decrease the spread, decrease the severity, decrease the length of time of having symptoms. Number two, good hand washing. Clean hands are happy hands. And number three, good disinfection of surfaces, whether that's at work or at home, your commute, or at the gym.
What is it that kills people from the flu virus?
So it's generally not the flu itself that will kill people, it's the body's secondary infections that start to develop. So whether they're other viral infections, whether they're bacterial infections that lead to pneumonia or sepsis, that tends to be more devastating and really is what harms people.
Okay, and when you talk about the vaccine, which you say it's still not too late for people to get, this year's vaccine had the H3N2 in it. So my question is, why does it not seem to be very effective when we are having such a bad flu season?
Yeah, so the flu vaccination program at its peak will protect about 60%. What we're seeing as a best guess this year is about 30%, so still really good. Other years it's been as low as 10%. The H3N2 vaccine virus itself mutates very quickly, and so using the reference strand may not be an exact match, but it definitely helps to decrease symptoms, severity, length of time, and those secondary pneumonias and sepsis as well.
We know how easily it spreads. Are there places where we're more susceptible to get it if we're at work, the gym, school?
Yeah, close quarters around other people. So schools, gyms, grocery stores, kind of large congregations of people, church, shopping malls. Again, good hand washing, cover your mouth when sneezing or coughing, staying away from sick people is probably the best advice.
Yeah, and staying home, and I've got about 30 seconds. We've had conflicting advice on when to go to the doctor, when to go to the emergency room. When I see kids dying especially, it worries me that you want to go in as a parent right away when they start showing signs. What is your recommendation for how sick and when to go get help, or do you do it online?
I would always say it's always better to go see your doctor first. They can do simple tests, nasal influenza swabs, that results will come back within minutes to a few hours.